Arirang Prime.
There are still many impoverished regions around the world. International efforts to solve poverty have continued for decades, but not without challenges. What can each region become self-reliant and rise above poverty? Korea experienced rapid growth and joined the ranks of the world's top economic powers. Now, it's sharing its knowledge with developing countries. Rwanda is one of the countries where Korea is actively trying to eradicate poverty. A country of beautiful views and peace. Rwanda is a fast-growing country that has maintained its 7% to 8% average annual growth during the past decade and ranks second easiest place to do business in Africa. New construction sites in its capital, Kigali, reflect this development. Rwanda is also the safest country in Africa. But beneath that is a deep, indelible pain. On April 7, 1994, an ethnic conflict and massacre broke out. It lasted for 100 days, and at least 800,000 people, or about 20% of Rwanda's total population, lost their lives. Every April, Rwandans gather to commemorate the genocide victims. This year marks the 22nd anniversary, and without exception, people have come in memory of the tragic event. And after 1994, a movement of national unity and new economic policies swept over Rwanda, rewriting its history. However, it still has a long way to go. Its GDP per capita is still about $700, and it depends on foreign support to fund its economic growth. Rwanda, the land of 1,000 hills, with an altitude of 1,500 to 1,800 meters, and slopes covering 93% of its land. It's no surprise to see rolling hills throughout the country. Musimba, a small rural village located an hour from Kigali. It's a peaceful little village. People are busy pickaxing on the outskirts. They are paving a waterway to start rice farming. Village residents farm by hand. Rice is their staple food, but lack of water and professional knowledge made rice farming difficult. But now, it's mainly what they do for a living. Agriculture in Rwanda accounts for 80% of employment and meets 90% of the national food needs. It also accounts for 30% of the GDP. Rice farmers. What did they farm before?
Usually in marshland, in our village, we grew, we planted various crops like beans, like peas, like cassavas, like corn before. Before rice farming implemented on this area, the lifestyle of villagers was low. It means it was so hard for them to get money. It was so hard for them to change their meals. it was so hard for them to let children go to school and to get health insurance contribution. But after implementing the rice farming on the area, after harvesting, people, the farmer who joined the group, easily will get money. After getting that money, now they cannot change their meals.
The villagers even made a dam to collect rainwater and use it for farming. It's small, but very useful in rice farming.
Because it's very expensive, we have semi-rural volunteers. Because they support us in rice farming, we try to make water road only, and we tell to semi-rural volunteers to support for them. And he called the technician, we make a conversation with the technician, and technician give the price to semi-rural volunteers, and semi-rural volunteers pay the technician to build us the dam.
Korea's Sema-ul Undong is a type of agricultural enlightenment movement. Its aim is to find a way to increase income by maintaining the rural village's environment, developing the farming industry, and raising people's self-reliance. The village started rice farming because of Korea's Sema-ul Undong. The movement was launched here in 2011 to develop self-reliance. The villagers adopted it and created rice paddies over 2 years. This is the first time everyone in this village has come together in cooperation to establish large-scale fields, harvest, and share profits. It's astonishing how abandoned wetlands could turn into such large fields. At first, 43 villagers borrowed about 2.3 hectares of land and harvested 4,000 kilograms of rice. Since then, the number of participants and production yield recorded exponential growth. Residents of Musimba and 4 neighboring villages came together to create a rice farming co-op. The green flag they are carrying symbolizes Sema-ul Undong. Sema-ul Undong is acknowledged as a major movement that enabled Korea's economic growth. When Korea was left in ruins without capital or natural resources after the Korean War, people started participating in this nationwide movement with determination to rise from poverty. They cooperated to improve their living in agricultural environments and established a foundation to become self-reliant. Now, Korea is sharing its experiences with the world. Diligence, self-help, cooperation, the founding spirit of Sema-ul Undong. With humanity's coexistence and development as its slogan, the movement is spreading across impoverished regions. Ever since Sema-ul Undong caught the attention of impoverished villages around the globe and received application for assistance, it started choosing model village areas, dispatching volunteers overseas, providing education, improving living environments, and teaching farming techniques.
저는 이 마을 사람들은 이쪽 현재 농사 짓고 있는 지역은 뭐 잡풀만 무성한 마을 그대로 황무지였고 이곳 주민들은 새집 생활 또는 자기 주변에 있는 뭐 콩이나 이런 거 수집해가지고 겨우 먹고 사는데 급급한 실정이었는데 현재는 연 소득 약 한 400불 정도 되고 비농가 소득은 연 한 200불 정도 되고 있습니다.
For poor villages to become self-reliant, it's imperative that they increase their income. We headed to another village where change has taken place. This is a pineapple farm operated by Musimba's cooperative union. Previously, the village couldn't launch large-scale farming despite having ideal conditions to grow pineapples. But now, it specializes in a sweeter and stronger variety and is farming professionally. It's been 4 years since the pineapple co-op formed, and Musimba's pineapples are now known as the most delicious type in the country. And of course, the farmers are very happy.
ubuhinzi bw'inanasi n'ubundi narahingaga nkahinga ibishyimbo nkahinga amasoya ariko simbone bishimishije nkahinga n'imyumbati ariko simbone hari ibintu bishimishijemo, niyo mpamvu yatumye ngerageza gushakisha ngo mpindure igihingwa, ndebe igihingwa cy'inanasi ko hari icyo cyangezaho nacyo, nza kubona ubutaka bwanjye bugikunze, akaba ariyo mpamvu nakomeje guhinga inanasi. Rero nyuma yo guhinga ibyo nabonye nta musaruro wari ufite.
The village began flourishing ever since it started farming. Semao volunteers are heading to a nearby village. Children are the first to greet them. There's an active banana farmers cooperative here. This also used to be one of Rwanda's poorest villages, but things are different now.
12 for punch.
This village has always grown bananas, but it was barely enough for the residents to eat. But after they changed the variety, their yield doubled. Differences between the fruits are clearly visible. That's what they are planting right now. All they did was change the variety, but it led to the farm's profits. Behind this innovative agricultural project are Semao volunteers, local residents, and Rwandan agronomists.
In this project, know the rate of fertilizer and the right time of fertilizer application and the right spacing. They know also other cultural practices like thinning and disease and pest management. They know all, but before they don't have knowledge about this.
Higher income made this village more peaceful and prosperous. Its market bustles with activity. Increased income naturally led to the establishment of a market. Rwanda does not offer enough job opportunities and relies heavily on agriculture. In other words, an agricultural breakthrough is crucial to enhancing people's quality of life. Besides farming, livestock business has boomed in the neighboring village, Gihogwe, as well. This family started raising pigs a while ago. Local Semao Undong leaders often visit farms and examine the livestock's health and environment and provide whatever the farmers need. Semao Undong even gave farmers a loan at a low 2% interest rate so that they could buy livestock. As a result, many households here raise pigs. For the first time, people began building stables and raising pigs. Pigs reproduce fast, so they are useful in increasing income.
Ku bijyanye rero n'amahugurwa twahuguye abanyamuryango uburyo ki ingurube yororwa, tubasobanurira ingurube uko bayigaburira, tubasobanurira uko ingurube indwara z'ingurube n'uko bazirinda n'uko bazivura. Ibyo rero byatumye izo nguzanyo bari barahawe batutangira kubereka uburyo ki bagomba bazashobora no kuzishyura, ku buryo umushinga aho watangiriye naho bugeze ubu ngubu abanyamuryango bafite ubushobozi bwo kuba bakukemurira ikibazo, bagaburira amatungo yabo, mbese babona umusaruro uvuye ku ngurube kandi bakawubyaza umusaruro bakabasha ku.
Cooperation replaced conflict in this village. People get together every day to share their farming techniques. Their life pattern has completely changed. They communicate more and exchange ideas more. Semao volunteers from Korea are also always with the locals. Some of the villagers have actually been to Korea to experience its advanced farming methods for themselves. These people act as leaders in their communities. The villagers look for what they need on their own. In short, they're becoming more self-reliant. They enhance what they can, one by one, and continuously look for other ways to improve. In fact, they've cultivated vast fields with just a pickaxe, and this has empowered them with a can-do spirit. Like sunrise, hope is shining on the village. The possibilities of the future make people happy more than anything else. Creating a better future can't happen without education. A kindergarten in Musimba. It teaches about 100 children during its day and afternoon shifts. The children who come here look happy and bright. At first, the Semaul Globalization Foundation provided the facility and school supplies. But now, the kindergarten operates on tuition.
Umwana yarahindutse, yabashije kugera mu bandi bana agira gutinyuka, kandi noneho n'ibyo mwarimu ubumenyi amureza muha, mba mbona ko bigenda neza, ariga agafata, abona ko umwana wanjye byamugiriye umumaro, kandi noneho byatumye atinyuka, bituma
iri shuri dufitiye akamaro kuko ryaje turikeneye. Ritari ryaza ntabwo twabonaga ahantu heza twohereza abana kwiga. Gusa iri shuri dufitiye akamaro.
Children must receive plenty of education benefits. That way, these children will become the bright future of Rwanda. While the children are at the kindergarten, mothers use that free time to do something else. We visited a local women's workshop. They are busy making something with their skilled hands. The women make mats or clothes for their family or sale at the market. It is true that the Civil War deepened the conflict between ethnic groups and worsened the public sentiment. Women were especially more exposed to danger. But now, instead of hate, there's trust. Even women freely participate in social activities. People in this workshop are busy dyeing fabric. Everything is done by hand. And the end results will add to their income. This is their beautiful work of art.
Impinduka zajemo umugabo ibintu byose niwe nabibazaga, ikintu cyose ari we kireba, kubera ko nta handi nakuraga amafaranga twayakuraga mu byo duhinga. Ariko amaze kugera muri Semau, nagiye muri koperative, ndabanza niga gukora ibitenge ku buryo n'ubu ntabashije kuba muri koperative nakikorera nkakigurisha. Ariko muri koperative dukora imyenda, tukagurisha, tukabona amafaranga.
When women of the village started working together, it brought changes to every family. She's heading home. She works hard with her husband to make a living. Their life is much better than before. She works while her children are at preschool. This brief activity has brought economic freedom to her family. She feels accomplished and happy that she can do more for her children. A quiet village. Inside, it is full of energy. In the other part of the village, people are busy baking. Their traditional bread made with harvested corn flour is very popular even in other villages. Women work together to bake and sell what they've made. Participating in such social activities that seemed off limits before taught these women about the power of community. Cooperating to find work, teaching and learning together, and sharing profits. What do they think of such changes?
I think Kasharuralo, they will believe in better life because they know how they are help each other and working together, and also their mindset changed a lot in order that they have power for doing many activities.
Creating jobs and increasing income through it at the same time. Land and water, residential areas and education facilities. Establishing these basic needs have raised the villagers' quality of life. And the most important facility, a health center, also opened. This health center plays an important role in preventing and treating endemic diseases such as malaria. In the past, there was nothing people could do to even recover from simple ailments. It's not uncommon for people from distant towns to come here.
duturuka ku karere ka Gacurabwenge. Ku karere ariko umurenge wa Gacurabwenge.
Ibitaro byaradushimishije cyane, nawe urabyumva kuva hano bakoresha nk'ibihumbi 3 cyangwa 4 biteze, none umuntu araza n'amaguru ukazana n'umwana ukamuvuza ugataha. Ni ibintu bishimishije cyane, dushima cyane abafatanyabikorwa bacu babikoze.
Barabyishimiye cyane pe, kuko niyo urabona muri weekend ntago dukora samedi na dimanche, ariko tuba twagiye dufite amazamu dupanzweho kuri centre de santé. Muri weekend ntago dukora hano kubera nyine nuko turi bake tugasimburana twaboneka, ariko tuba twagiye Kigezi. Ariko nubwo tudahari usanga kuwa mbere twakiriye abantu barembye.
It's been 4 years since this village adopted Semaul Undong, and there has been a great number of changes. The volunteers do not simply provide supplies. They examine the problems and cooperate with the locals to find a solution. The locals have learned that as a community, they each have a task to do to make their village better. Rwanda is blooming, and people are beginning to believe in the better tomorrow.
ishuri rimaze kongeza ku bintu byinshi cyane, nk'imibereho myiza, kwihangira umurimo, kumvikana n'abaturanyi n'abagenzi banjye.
앞으로는 우리가 지금 4년 차인데 다음 기수 5년 차에 끝나죠. 5년 차 끝나고 나면 이분들이 스스로 이제 독립해서 스스로 우리가 있을 때나 마찬가지로 해나가야 돼요. 그래서 그런 부분에 있어서는 저희가 지금까지 공무원들하고 연관관계를 잘 맺어주고 있어요. 이 다음 우리가 끝나고 나면 스스로도 이 마을 사람들이 공무원들하고 완전히 밀착되게 서로 연결이 되어서 함께 힘을 합쳐서 잘 해나갈 걸로 저는 보고 있습니다.
Korea's Semaul Undong began spreading across Asian countries such as Vietnam, China, and Indonesia, starting in 2005. And after 2010, the movement expanded to include African countries. So far, Korea has built 42 model villages in 15 countries, including Ethiopia, Rwanda, Tanzania, India, and Philippines. And there will be more. Semaul Undong has emerged as a global model that not just supplies but develops self-reliance and helps end poverty. The international community, including the UN, is showing a lot of interest in this movement. At the 70th UN General Assembly, Korea shared publications titled Inclusive and Sustainable New Communities and 21st Century New Farming Village Paradigm.
For this introducing and practicing this Semaul Undong in many developing world is very appropriate.
A beautiful Southeast Asian country, the Philippines. There are successful Semaul Undong cases here as well. The World Bank forecasted 6.4% growth for the Philippines this year and 6.2% for 2017. It is expected to become the fastest growing country in the Asia-Pacific region. However, people in rural areas still suffer from extreme poverty. 1 hour drive from Manila, is a village called Balingkanguing. It's located on the island of Luzon, and it's well known as a remote area with barely any government benefits. But a wind of change is blowing here as well. People go about their daily activities in peace, and their faces are bright. What changes have taken place here? The first noticeable change is the greenhouses. They are not common in the Philippines because of its tropical climate. What's growing inside this greenhouse? Evelyn was the first to build a greenhouse in this village. She comes here several times a day to take care of her vegetables. She skillfully removes withered leaves. She's currently growing cucumbers, and they are growing well. On the other side of the greenhouse are cabbages. But why is she growing such common vegetables inside a greenhouse?
This is a Philippine cabbage, usually grown in Baguio. The temperature in Baguio is 20 degrees Celsius. But here in Balingkanguing, the temperature I was recorded during summer, 40 degrees Celsius. But still grown because of the greenhouse, and then we use the misty bulb.
Thanks to the temperature control of greenhouses, high-value crops can be grown inside to give a steady yield. Greenhouses have brought significant changes to this village. Balingkanguing is one of Semao Undong's model villages, and the movement has taken root systematically.
새마을 시범마을로 선정되면서 5개년 계획에 의해서 사업을 하고 있습니다. 처음에는 이제 생활 인프라를 구축을 했습니다. 예를 들어서 마을 안길을 포장하고 화장실을 개보수를 하고 음용수 시설을 만들어주고 데이케어 센터, 그다음에 마을 회관 이런 것을 만들어주면서 생활 환경 인프라를 개선을 했습니다. 그리고 이제 올해 4년 차부터는 소득 증대에 중점을 두고 사업을 추진하고 있습니다.
Balingkanguing also adopted organic farming as part of the income generation project. It can reduce the cost of chemical fertilizers, and the vegetables can be sold at higher prices. Organic farming was also necessary to save this region's soil. In 1991, Mount Pinatubo on the island erupted. Many people lost their lives, and vast tracts of land were left infertile. This village was no exception. One way to save the soil that had become acidic was organic farming. In the past, villagers couldn't dream of farming and forage to sustain themselves. But ever since their soil came to life, they could start farming again and dream of becoming rich.
From here, this is now ready for harvest.
Before, my children, I find hard to find everyday income. But since we work since last year, our livelihood is a vegetable farming with the use of organic composting, with the help of the volunteer and the Simon Globalization Foundation with the support and the financial given to us. I send my children to private school now.
At first, people were not familiar with such farming techniques. But when Evelyn's farming proved to be a success, their perspectives changed. They enjoy farming together, and Korean Semaul volunteers are always working beside them. The villagers cultivate fields together and practice organic farming. Today, they are planting seeds. All organic vegetables that need temperature control are grown inside the greenhouse. Local farmers here make their own fertilizers and mix them into soil. They have revived the land and are farming through cooperation. Ma writes, the field's owner is also very happy with her farming.
Cucumber and okra, talong. You know talong, eggplant. Our organic fertilizers, it comes from our Korean volunteers, the Semaul Foundations. They give us some support like this, like the plant seeds, especially the organic materials.
The Semaul volunteer influenced us by telling us that self-help by doing your own, by helping your own, so that individual will initiate for the additional income for their family. They promote here self-help, diligence, and cooperation here in our village. That's why now our village, they are doing by planting for their own vegetable and other high-value crops that can help for their additional income for their family.
As organic farming and greenhouses enrich the village, visitors began flooding in to witness the change. They see everything for themselves and ask questions. What do they think of this farming technique?
They have fish, so this one is good.
I'm also amazed because they have raised the cabbage here with the use of the greenhouse. So usually we cultivate the plant with our own hands, and then just plant the whatever seed we want, and then we wait for the plant to grow. That's it. We have no, just like that. And the pests, the insects are just welcome. They eat that. So that's why we use commercial, what is that? Artificial, commercial insecticide and pesticide. That's the way we do it here.
From rags to riches. How did this village look before Semaul Undong movement came? We visited a neighboring village that's hoping to adopt the movement. A minority group called the Arirang live in both Balintawak and Maloma. Poor housing conditions are visible to the naked eye, and all they can do is collect fruits from the mountains and fish in the river. They live on plain rice from day to day, a bag of rice in the corner of the house. Children find the strangers fascinating. Is it their destiny to live in poverty? Family mealtime, but there isn't a single side dish. All they have is a handful of salt.
Ang kay po antin kanat in lak wa pa gante ten gulay na may tan pang nalay bayante panay bitin bahin ante
Palagay ko po ma'am sa programa ninyo ay talagang maganda po. Talagang okay talaga para sa mga mamamayan. Dahil yung nagawa po ninyo sa Balingkaging ma'am ay talagang maganda talaga dahil matukin yung improvement ng pamayanan nila. Lalo na sa mga livelihood ma'am, sa mga piggery, saka yung mga yung mga daanan ma'am ay talagang parang konkreto na rin yung daanan ng papunta sa kanila. Yung problema din po namin dito ma'am, yung karsada yung papunta dito. Dahil pag ganitong tag-ulan ma'am, hindi po makatawid yung sasakyan kahit tao. Pag sa bundok ma'am, yun.
Balingkaguing was not that different just a few years ago. Residents also had to fetch water from the mountain. They couldn't even stay clean, let alone think about inconveniences. They believe that changing the environment is vital, and number one priority is set up a pump to get access to water. Before, they had to move according to the water supply. But now, with a water pump, they can settle down in one place. It's changed the lifestyle of an entire ethnic group.
Pagkakaiba, doon malayo. Dito malapit na sa amin. Kasi doon malayo pa. That is my house, madam. But the other pumping is very far. So,
ngayon,
mas maganda ngayon, madam, kasi nga malapit dito yung pumping sa amin. At saka, ang tubig niya, masarap. The other one, no. Not good, the water.
물이 있기 때문에 애들 보건위생이 굉장히 좋아집니다. 매일 샤워할 수 있고 빨래를 할 수 있고 또 음식하는데 물의 제한을 받지 않고 옛날에는 물을 먼 것을 길러서 씁니다. 빨래, 먹는 거, 설거지 다 길러서다 보니까 애들이 피곤하고 지치고 아녀자들 몫이니까 힘들고 물을 또 많이 못 가져오니까 굉장히 씻는 것도 어렵고 했는데 지금은 원하면 하루에 몇 번이라도 씻을 수 있습니다. 물은 무제한 공급되기 때문에. 그래서 이들의 생활이 물 하나 공급으로 인해서 모든 것이 다 해결이 되었어요.
After improving the village's conditions and adopting new farming techniques, the residents even launched various education programs. This is their first time learning about sewing. After learning the skills, they will make various everyday products and sell them at the market.
Good afternoon, madam. Hello. Okay, I will remit my training this morning. Yes. So, I got one bundle of rugs, that is 20 pieces. And then 2 bundles of pot holders. How much is the price?
The price of the 20 rods is 20 rods,
yes.
150.
I 25,016.
They make the products together and share the profits. Evelyn packs the items they will sell. Their garments are quite popular at the market.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Bye. Thank you. Thank you.
Kind of our doings. We will put GB as one of our sale, our name, as like the name of our pot holder. Yeah, this is a pot holder. Yeah, this is a short pan. We will put some GB because this is the name our sale.
Oh, okay. So, what meaning of GB?
GB, gawang balingkaging, made of balingkaging. That's what.
Their products were acknowledged for their high quality and contributes to increasing the village's income.
Proper.
By far, the English class is the most popular educational program. English is an official language of the Philippines, but many residents here can't speak English as they couldn't afford to go to school when they were growing up.
So, any question about...
Being unable to speak English naturally cut them off from other regions and better opportunities in the outside world. But they are never too old to start studying. Classes are fun and filled with presentations. But there's another reason they're studying English.
Our job, ma'am, is a simple life and farming, ma'am. And I teach my children, ma'am, to learn and talk in English. Yung mga natutunan ko, pwede kong ituro sa mga anak ko.
They study hard because they want to educate their children.
How about you, Mom? Can you give me a sample about...
From building the curriculum to seeking the teachers, Semaul Undong volunteers were heavily involved in making this English class possible.
영어는 필리핀의 공용어입니다. 그렇지만 그들의 의사소통은 이 지역 언어인 일루카노나 따갈로그를 사용합니다. 그래서 자기들이 영어를 할 수 없기 때문에 자기들 언어만 사용하는 끼리끼리 문화가 형성이 되어 있어서 의사소통을 위해서 시작하게 되었습니다.
The teacher is an English major who grew up in this town. She volunteered to teach for the villagers, and the rewards are immeasurable.
You learn how to cooperate with others and... Common. It is proper.
I am willing to teach them because I know that they will learn from me, and I know that someday they will use what I learned and what I teach to them. Before, we don't have enough financial to go to school, but now I am blessed because I can go to school, unlike them that they don't have enough money to support their studies.
Children are eating mangoes picked from the trees, carefree and bright. They are the reason the adults choose change. Evelyn invited the filming crew to her house. She says she has something to show us.
I have a picture where I graduated from University last year, and in Andong. This is my picture. I graduated a 3-week seminar in Kyungwon University, and this is my certification of completion as a 3-week seminar in Andong.
She attended a seminar in Korea on an invitation from the Semaul Globalization Foundation and became the Semaul Undong leader of the village. She was greatly inspired by her experiences in Korea.
Like in Balingkaging, only 1 unit of greenhouse and 4 units of net house as of now. So, with regards to that, I am very much interested in how the Korean people, the income generation higher, and then I would be I want to follow what the Semaul Simon Globalization Foundation teach us in order to for us to increase our income, and not only for this time but for our next generation, especially for our children.
She saw Semaul Undong's potential and gave it a try, and her life became rich and future-oriented. Evelyn and her relatives always eat dinner together. They couldn't even imagine having this much food in the past. In a way, Semaul Undong was a turning point in their lives. Next day, Evelyn heads to the market with her older children. She sells homegrown vegetables and handmade products at her stand here. This is another change that farming has brought in her life.
After 15 minutes. Okay. Bye.
She receives an order. She actually has many regular customers. Her vegetables are fresh because she grows them at home and harvests them each morning.
Hello.
A vendor from nearby is here to collect her order.
60 pesos. I'm going to the burger stand where they ordered 5 kilos of cucumber. Here. This my regular customer, they use this pipino, my cucumber in the sandwiches. Hello, good morning. Good morning. Your order, eye operation? They say, kumusta?
Why do people buy vegetables from Evelyn?
Get well soon.
5 kilos, ate, every day. 5 kilos or more than 5 kilos every day. Ate, we deliver that 5 kilos every day. In market, very small, expensive than ate. We have a discount for ate. We deliver the lucky. That's why we buy for her.
That afternoon, residents gather at the village hall. Evelyn is here as well. Like her, locals often come here after tending to their fields and share their knowledge and hold a discussion. Today, they decide to review their performance in organic farming. That's the main agenda of the village.
We can do that. There was a suggestion.
It's been 4 years since they adopted Semaul Undong, and they have done a good job at developing self-reliance. They will be able to achieve sustainable growth, and this has caught the attention of the city government.
Farming and agricultural areas po. Farming and fishing ang primary commodity po ng San Felipe. Ito po, meron po tayong chicharon bagnet.
San Felipe is where one of the Semaul Undong model villages is. It saw Semaul Undong's possibilities and actively implemented it to the city's businesses. And it will continue to carry the movement on.
Balingkagin is now a model in the entire municipality of San Felipe. And I think not just in the municipality of San Felipe, even in our neighboring municipalities. It is a model in terms of agriculture. It is a model in terms of community development. It is a model in terms of cleanliness, in terms of sanitation, in terms of health, and even in terms of other governance activities such as disaster preparedness. You include how the organization, the barangay, has linked up with other institutions. Well, the basic link up is, of course, the link up with the local government unit, the municipality itself. But there are also other linkages, such as linkages with the Department of Agriculture, linkages with some universities and colleges. So for me, that is a very significant breakthrough. It's a very significant contribution, not just for the barangay itself, but for the entire municipality.
Korea's Saemaul Undong has proven that underdeveloped communities around the world can become self-reliant. And it has emerged as an effective model for overcoming poverty. Korea was an impoverished country that relied on foreign aid mere 60 years ago. But now, it's the only country in the world that has raised its status from an aid recipient to an aid donor. And Saemaul Undong reflects Korea's direct experiences.
인류 사회에서 절대 빈곤을 종식시키기 위해서는 농촌 발전이 반드시 필요합니다. 왜냐하면 개동 농촌에 많은 빈곤자가 있고 지속적으로 인구가 2028년까지 늘도록 되어 있습니다. 그래서 개발도상국의 농촌 발전 없이는 지속가능 개발 목표를 푸는 것이 불가능하다. 이러한 이제 국제사회의 공감이 이루어졌고 이런 그 개발도상국 농촌 발전의 그 수단이 그럼 뭐냐 이런 것에 대해서 많은 연구와 이런 그 토론 속에서 결국 새마을 운동을 통한 개발도상 농촌 발전이 필요하다. 이런 공감대를 이루어서 지금 OECD와 UNDP를 중심으로 개발도상국 농촌 발전을 새마을 운동을 적용해서 진행시키고 있습니다.
The daily production, I support my family, and it's very thankful to the Saemaul Globalization Foundation and Saemaul Undong.
And maybe someday our village will become a new Saemaul Undong movement here in the Philippines.
Saemaul yarafashije ariko ibyinshi nibo barayifashije. Ubu bafite imyumvire yuko umwaka ku mwaka bumva ko ibikorwa byabo ari ibyabo, batagombye kumva ko ari leta cyangwa se undi muntu uzava hirya ngo azabateze imbere. Numva ari ikintu cya mbere nabonye bafashe mu ikosoka ry'imyumvire, kuko ntabwo twakoranye gusa mu buhinzi, twanakoranaga no kuvugurura imyumvire. Icyo kintu nge mbonamo icyizere kirambye cy'uko ejo bundi bazaba biyumva nk'abantu bakuru bashobora guteza imbere ubwabo, imiryango n'igihugu.
No longer standing idly by and watching poverty, developing a can-do spirit, Saemaul Undong is providing an answer to world poverty based on the belief that cooperation is the greatest power we have. Korea is sharing its experiences, its ideas to create a world without poverty. It's time to take a look at how the world is learning from it.